Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy with my newest tool purchase here. I've been looking for about 10 months for a good deal on these. This is a Snap-on XFRM 705 wrench set. 5 physical individual units, 10 actual wrenches. You have an 810, 12 14, 13 15, 16 18, and a 17 19. Obviously very long units here. This is a 12 point. I believe it's a dual 80 technology in these ratcheting ends, or at least a derivation of it. Don't quote me on it. Comes with its own pouch with its own little part number here. And I'm going to be comparing them visually and a little bit of a performance test with my 5-year-old GEARWRENCH XL. These are the 120 XP's extra long spline drive. You also get 10 wrenches in this kit. I think I paid about 170, 180 for this kit about 5 years ago. I've had a couple small issues with them. Again, I'm not a professional mechanic. I don't do this every single day, day in, day out. But I am a very avid amateur here in my home shop. I do put it through its paces a little bit. One thing that's to note, so again, this is 12 point, this is spline drive. I hate the spline drive. I bought these at the time before I even considered ever buying Snap-on because it was way out of my league at the time. So what I wanted to show you here is, a couple things. These are a little bit floppy. You can tighten them up a little bit, but frankly, this is almost as tight as you can go because you got a fairly substantial yoke here. So it's still a little floppy. I have issues with the 14. This is the second 14 millimeter I have broke. Obviously, with the fixed end and the ratchet, I try to crack fasteners free with the fixed end, and then ratchet them off with this. Turn them on the side. You can kind of go like this. So we can see here. Is it 14? 14's broken. Which is, god damn it, which one is the one that's broken? This 13's broken this time. I broke a 14 before. You can hear it. There. It's cracked. The inner ring is actually cracked here. I did not put too much torque through it. Again, I crack with this side, fasten off with this side. That's how it is. Yeah, it's got a warranty on it. With this 21 mil, when it was about 0 degrees Fahrenheit in the shop, I was working it and the entire assembly popped out. I lost the spring. GEARWRENCH sent me a new one about 8-9 weeks later. So that was that. These are not carried anywhere locally, like Napa or things, so they had to order it. I just did it online, so that's it. Again, 10, actually an 8 to 19. I had to buy an 8 separately here. This is really nice for using on eTorques, by the way, but you can use 12 point as well, so I'm excited for this. These are spline drive, and again, I hate spline drive, but the 21, 22, 23, 24, they are 12 point, which is nice. Obviously, you can tell they're huge here. That's separate. Obviously, 24 mil is a big fastener. Massive length on it. And see, like 18, 19s here. Let's compare the lengths of them. Right about the same length, maybe just about an inch longer overall on this 19 Snap-on than this. One thing to note, they do have very similar head thicknesses. Snap-on is 11.2, GEARWRENCH 11.2. So they actually have identical thicknesses here, which is great. One place that the Snap-on is superior is overall diameter. The Snap-on diameter, that's about 32.1. GEARWRENCH diameter, that's a 35.7. So that's about a 3 mil difference, OD. That's very significant when you're trying to get into small areas. So Snap-on obviously has the advantage here. Snap-on has a much thicker yoke. We can see almost double the thickness of this yoke here. It's meant to take a lot of abuse and torque through here. And let's see, this range, 180 degree swivel. Pretty standard, as you'd expect. This is actually more than 180 degrees. Call it 180 nominal. Do you need more than that? No, it's probably detrimental. Anyway, really nice units here. Obviously, got some heft to them. These do as well, as you would expect with a 1.5 foot long wrench here. Again, 380 used. They're about 550 new versus about 180 new. And I'm gonna be selling these because, like I said, I want that flank drive 12 point. It is far superior. One thing to note, very, very important about the snap-on tools, they have excellent, excellent tolerancing. You cannot use a 14 mil open combination wrench on a 9/16 fastener. A 9/16 is 14.2 millimeter. A snap-on combination wrench will simply not fit on that. It is, the tolerancing is exact to SAEs or I don't know if it's ASE, ASTME, whatever, some kind of standards for the fasteners where, you know, a fastener has a certain dimensional tolerance, plus minus from its nominal. Snap-on adheres to that, but using a 14 on a 9/16 should not be done. There's a lot of, I have gear wrench open ends and they fit on no problem. Craftsman fit on no problem. And you know what happens when you're on a soft metal that's you know, very tight? You end up rounding off the fasteners. Think brake lines, brake line flare fittings, especially little 10 mils. Those are very critical to use a very good tight tolerancing, good face fitting. So let's go over real quick. I was saying again about the spline drive. What I don't like about the spline drive is round. So with a round fastener, with a round tooth that's engaging a flat surface here, you end up only putting pressure on a little point, little small area of here, because you're doing this. Rather than if you use a flat, like a 12 or a 6 point, you end up with this, like a good gear contact. So think about a straight cut versus a helical cut gear. Helical cut, you end up with just a point of it touching the bevel gear, versus with the straight cut, you have the entire tooth contact on it. So let's go ahead and put it on an actual fastener on this Benz here that's been you know, sitting for a long time. It's a 91 from Michigan, some rust on it. One thing I hate about spline drive, again, it's easy to put the fastener through it, very easy to come off as well. So when you're trying to, you know, use a ratchet wrench, you're trying to do stuff quickly here, this will want to slide right off the fastener. And that's really annoying when you're doing it, because obviously now you're using two fingers, one hand to keep it on the fastener, one hand to give her the beans, and that's super annoying. You want it just to engage and keep on the fastener head. So let's go over here on the front suspension on the Benz, put these two wrenches on and see how they engage, see what happens with the fasteners, and see how they perform. Gonna take the 19s over for a walk. So let's go on this spindle assembly. I have never touched these. Who knows when they were undone. Let's put, they should both be torqued to the same amount. Let's put a gear wrench here. That should be for fat taken off. Let's see. Okay. 1 second, I am going to bring something over here. All right. I'm going to use the flex side of the wrench because as the snap-ons, obviously you have flex on both sides. You have flex on both sides, so they're obviously meant to take full torque. So right away, if you can notice, I don't know if you saw when I put it on, this one slipped on easier, kind of had a little bit more movement. This one was a little harder to engage because the way that the flank drive, there's more surface area touching it. Let's try cracking this over. Actually, I'm going to do this 19 on the snap-on first just to get it out of the way. So let's see what happens. Well, they're not that rusted. So let's try tightening it up. And I'm using just one hand here. Still wants to walk a little bit. That's for sure. Let's tighten it up because I want to show you the teeth marks. All right, that's tight. Let's try cracking this guy. So you know what? Actually, this bit into the fastener, so it's staying on very well. which is great for convenience. But I'll show you what I did to the fastener in a second now. A little bit harder to take off. Sometimes you need a screwdriver. So let's take a look here. Again, gear wrench, snap-on, spline, normal flank drive. It was pretty good here, frankly, because it was low torque. Here you can see where it's engaging. Hopefully you can hear me decently. A little hard to see, but you know you're seeing it. The engagement is right where you're supposed to on the flank of it. And with this, oh, here we go. I know it's a little hard to see. I'm sorry, guys, but the splines are engaging right near the end. They're not engaging at the root where they should be. There, right at the end here, and is damaging the fastener a little bit. Let's try to find another frozen fastener. I already cracked this one earlier. I have not touched this one. Let's put a gear wrench on it. Let's tighten it up. Get some witness marks. All right. Definitely, you can see where the damage is on the fastener. It's galling it up. It's actually rounding over the edges here. So again, that's why personally I have beef with the spline drive. Not good in a high torque application. And when you have a 1.5 foot lever arm, that's going to be a high torque application. Durability is yet to be seen on these. I expect nothing but the best. Like I said, these gear wrenches are going to be for sale. I don't need 2 sets of tools taking up space. I am keeping these ones simply because I do use them sometimes, and this is a nice large size. But yeah, obviously for the win, 12 point versus spline. Thank you for watching.